talking about MCU Park out in Brooklyn. So they've got Coney Island behind them and the rides behind them, and we're just wondering how that's going to work. For TCU, it'll be Cody Jones, Preston Morrison, and Boomer White. You didn't want to see a repeat of 22 innings? Nobody did. Trust me.
Test. 1, 2, 3, 4. Audio test. 1, 2.
Joined now by Texas Tech head coach Tim Tadlock, student athletes Tyler Nisloni and Chris Sadberry. We asked Coach Tadlock to give an opening statement to begin.
I thought Preston was as good as advertised. He pitched like the Big 12 pitcher of the year. Thought TCU played a really good game, played good defense for the most part, I think, and really capitalized on their opportunities. And it's a tough way to lose your first game up here. At the same time, we won't look back and get ready to go on Tuesday.
All right, we'll open the floor to questions. As a reminder, please introduce yourself as well as your affiliation and silence any personal devices, cell phones, iPads, etc. Along the right.
Matt Roberts, KLBK. Coach, you guys have talked all year long about flushing games, and do you feel like being able to do that all season long, you've proven you can do that? You think that, that prepared you guys for this stage to be able to get ready to play whoever it is on Tuesday?
Well, I think so. I mean, I think we'll go eat dinner and do exactly what you just said. We'll try to put this behind us and move on and get ready for Tuesday. And we know whoever we play on Tuesday will be a big challenge, so need to get ready.
Kendall.
Kendall Rogers, perfect game. Tim, it was kind of a while back, but the last time you guys faced Morrison, you had a lot of success against him. What do you kind of remember from that performance he had, and what was kind of different today for him?
Well, the balls, the day we scored some runs on him, we really found some holes. We had some balls hit that could have very easily been outs, and it seemed like today, basically they were well positioned and got some outs when they needed it, and at the same time, he probably would tell you he wasn't as sharp that day, and I don't think he was. I really think, tip your hat to Coach Schlossnagel and Coach Sarloos on this deal. I mean, you play your first World Series game in Omaha, and guys are hunting that fastball, and they're sped up, and you roll a guy out there throwing 80 to 82 and changing speeds like that. I think he threw one up there. I know they were laughing over there. I think he threw one to maybe Burleson. It had to be in the 50s. So, it's really hard to get slowed down, and I think we slowed down the later innings, but he did a really good job early. Did a good job the whole time.
Lee?
Lee Barfnick from the Omaha World Herald. Tyler, Farrell's been really hard to get to this year. You guys did a nice job in the 8th inning there. You had the big hit. Did you think you guys were going to win the game after your triple?
I mean, it definitely helps out. I knew he was a really good pitcher. I mean, he's been their closer all year. He's got good stuff. I was just trying to – I knew once we got a couple runs – we have the most confidence ever in Johnny. He does what he always does. He pitched really well, so, it gave us a little momentum, but that's about it.
Stephen Stevenson, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Tim, Chris matched Preston pitch for pitch there for 8 innings. Talk about his performance in this opener.
Chris went 7. Of course, now we can go hindsight and go, why didn't we leave him in, right? Got to leave the dumb manager. But we had decided really before we scored the runs. Very rarely these guys go past 100 pitches. He was right at 100. And he'd done everything he could do for our team to put us in position to win the game. And we're always going to do what's best for these guys and for their career in the long term. At the same time, like Tyler said, we got all the confidence in the world in Johnny, and it's a kind of game of inches there. The first single, it just bounces over him, and it's a chopper. And then the next one, the one Humphreys goes and gets, again, it's if he's holding the runner a little more, if Keaton Jones if we thought he's going to run, you hold the runner, and it's probably an out. So it's just kind of an unpredictable game, and game in inches.
In the front on the right?
Chris Schneider, CBS Radio Dallas. So you've got the losers bracket now. How are you set up pitching-wise? Is it how confident are you in being able to come back through?
Well, I think the simplest thing is we'll have a decent starter on Tuesday, and Johnny's the one guy that pitched today out of the bullpen. We had 2 other guys up, so those guys should be fine. And really just I don't think you can go through the losers bracket talking about winning the whole losers bracket. We need to come out and play a solid baseball game on Tuesday.
In the middle?
Yeah, for both Tyler and Chris, Brian Davis from the Austin American Statesman. Coach already alluded to it, just the speed of the game, everybody playing faster. Did y'all feel like maybe middle innings, 4th, 5th, y'all were settling in and it was just another game? And what's that mentality carrying forward as y'all go to the next game?
Chris, could you lead us off?
I guess halfway through, the game, we kind of slowed down, and I guess we did kind of get in a rhythm. I don't think we really looked at it as the game sped up or anything. We played them before. We play in the Big 12, so we see it all the time. But halfway through, we kind of settled through, and then our hitters did what they needed to do there at the end, and it's a little unfortunate we couldn't pull it out there at the end.
Yeah, we had some you're going to have nerves. It's a College World Series. We got to do our best job of just getting past it, not letting the crowd affect us too much. And then I think we did there towards the middle of the game, 4th, 5th inning. We definitely settled down and played our normal baseball. So I think we did a good job settling down.
In the front row on the right?
Tim, what was your thinking with pinch hitting Lyons, and talk about him coming through with a big clutch pinch hit?
Well, he's done that the whole year. He's given us really good at-bats whenever he's in there. And the guy that he would pinch hit for was kind of struggling a little bit against Preston, and really didn't know wasn't thinking they were going to go to Farrell at that point. And then they did, and he put together a good at-bat, and ball found a hole. And did a great job. I mean, it's just more than anything, just going with a guy that's fresh.
Along the right.
Chris, going up in an outing like that against a guy like Morrison, you guys are both throwing up numbers. Does that maybe raise your level? It's the second week in a row it's really happened. Does that help you raise your level on the stage and go toe-to-toe with him?
No, not really. I mean, I just go into every game, looking to not give up any runs, but that doesn't always happen. I knew it was going to be a close game. I was a little frustrated with myself not being as sharp in the first inning. But other than that, I just try to settle in and give my team a chance to win.
We'll take two more questions, starting here in the middle.
Kirk Bowles from the Austin American Statesman. Tim, could you elaborate on your philosophy of pitch limits, and do you think that's overpitching is one of the reasons we're seeing so many Tommy John surgeries at the next level?
No, I don't think so, but I do think this is an environment where the pitchers are a little more stressful maybe than somewhere else, and maybe a regular season game. And Chris could have gone another inning. There's no doubt about it. I mean, as far as the question you ask about arm injuries, my kind of thinking is that guys don't play enough catch, and probably the first thing that gets out of shape on your body is probably your arm, and it's probably the last thing that gets in shape. I mean, these guys can get their bodies in shape, unlike you and I, in about a week, the rest of their body, but maybe they don't take care of their, maybe they think they're ready a little before they are.
Final question on the right.
For Chris and Tyler, what was it like walking out on the field for the first time, being at the College World Series?
Tyler, can you lead us off?
It's definitely breathtaking. It's something you're going to remember for the rest of your life. I mean, not too many people get to go to the College World Series. It's something you take in and remember for the rest of your life. It was awesome.
It was exciting. The atmosphere we had last weekend at the Super Regional, I think kind of helped me settle my nerves. I mean, our crowd was so loud there that this wasn't really overwhelming, so that kind of helped. But, I mean, like you said, it's something you just look back and just take it all in. It's really awesome.
All right, Coach, and Tyler and Chris, thank you guys for joining us. We'll have TCU here in just a few minutes. If you have individual questions for the Texas Tech Red Redders, please coordinate with their Sports Information Director, Scott Lacefield. We're joined now by TCU head coach Jim Schlossnagle, student athletes Cody Jones, Preston Morrison, and Boomer White. Coach Schlossnagle, if you'd begin with an opening statement.
Sure. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Obviously, typical TCU baseball game right there, especially over the course of the last couple weeks. I thought that Preston was outstanding. Really, really proud of him, especially since his really the one bad outing that he's had in his college career was against Tech in the first weekend of conference play, and so I know there were some eyebrows raised when we decided to go with Preston, but I felt like that was the best matchup, and it's a pretty easy decision when you have to choose between the Big 12 pitcher of the year and a first rounder. So he did a great job, and then Cody's at bat I thought was the at bat of the inning. Obviously Boomer's hit was huge, but Cody's at bat, just to fight off pitches. Draws has been so good for them all year long. I thought that Cody's at bat just to put the ball in play and then let his legs do the rest was huge. So, and really proud of Riley. Farrell. I don't even know the last time he's given up back-to-back hits, let alone back-to-back extra base hits. And he could have. There could have been way worse damage there in the 8th inning, and he kept making good pitches to their hitters.
We'll hold on for just 1 second while we get the lights fixed. There we go. Well. All right.
Whose kid is that?
As a reminder, please introduce yourself and your affiliation before giving the question.
Stephen Stevenson, Fort Worth Star Telegram. Jim, was it a easy decision to make the switch when you did, or was there a long discussion, or did you see something with Preston that?
No, I we had talked about going in, and I've watched enough College World Series games to know that with the off days, I told our team that one of the best teams, the teams that win this thing, normally have a closer that can throw more than 1 inning, and I was honestly thinking about starting off the inning with him, but I just felt like as soon as the game became in question, I'm going to our guy, whether it's right or left-handed hitter, and you have to credit Lyons for doing a heck of a job, and then the next, who was the next guy? Nesloney, stayed on the breaking ball, and tip your cap to them. But yeah, there was no doubt I was going to Riley. The only question was whether I was going to start the 8th with him or let Preston go back out.
Next question for Kendall here.
Kendall Rogers, perfect game. Preston, just what was different for you in this outing as opposed to the outing against those guys a while back? I know it was a long time ago, but just kind of compare those two from your standpoint.
That first outing, that wasn't me at all. I didn't have any control. My stuff wasn't as sharp as it usually is, and today was more of a typical outing for me. My slider was on point. I was able to locate my fastball when I needed to, and threw a couple changeups for a couple outs. But overall, I just had more confidence, and I was able to make my pitches when I needed to.
Eric.
Coach Schlesinger, Eric Sorensen from College Baseball Today. Did you have any thoughts about taking Riley out after he kind of had a little bit of a shaky start there in the 8th inning and going into the 9th?
No, zero. I was thinking, I was starting to think, okay, if they tie it, how long am I going to let him go? If they maybe would have gotten one more run, possibly. But the days off, it's such a different thing here. You got to find a way to scramble and win the first 2 games, and you have to do that with your best pitchers.
On the right.
Chris Schneider, CBS Radio Dallas. This team seems to be able to pull it out somehow, some way, every time. Can you explain what that is?
The only way I can explain it is, obviously every team that's in the College World Series is resilient. You can't get here without having that character trait as a team. Our guys, we play in so many close games. All 3 of our regional games were. Or 2 of our 3 regional games were 1-run games. One was an 11-inning game. One was a 22-inning game. And then against Pepperdine, it was as good a team as we've seen all year. They're a World Series caliber club. All 3 games are 1-run games, and that's the kind of baseball we've played all year. So I'm not telling you I'm very comfortable with it, but these guys are, and they don't panic a bit. It's just, hey, let's put together some good at bats and see what happens. So honestly, I just try to stay out of the way because they are very, very comfortable in playing in close games.
Here in the front.
Gil Leberton, Fort Worth Star Telegram. Jim, what did you think of the game Sadberry pitched, and were you surprised in any way that he came out when he did?
When he came, no, not at all. The reason they're even in the World Series, he's been a good pitcher, but it's because of Drozd and Cam Smith, in my opinion. And anybody that ever asked me about Tech, those are the 2 guys that have done such a great job for him. They've pitched in every possible role, from the 2nd inning or starting or closing. So I'm sure they're real confident in him. I thought Sadberry was great. He didn't really do anything other than he threw some changeups late in the game that he doesn't normally throw or hadn't featured against us before. But I thought he executed pitches outstanding, but it wasn't anything we weren't expecting. He had good life to his fastball and command, and threw his breaking ball enough. He did great. He did a heck of a job too.
In the middle along the right.
Blair Kirkhoff with the Kansas City Star. For Cody and Boomer, could you each talk about your approach with the at-bat in the 8th inning?
Well, my biggest deal was to stay as calm as I could and take as many deep breaths as I could and try to, I tried to stay back and get a pitch that I could hit early and put a good swing on it and hit it hard somewhere on the field. But once I got down 2 strikes, I knew I had to just sit back and fight and try to put a ball in play and try to let my legs work.
Yeah, mine was just trying to really stay on a baseball, and he's a left-handed pitcher, so me just stay on, maybe get a fastball or something where I can drive the other way. All I knew is that I can just get to the infield. Cody's going to score. So, I missed up with one, and I remember right before I walked up, Kyle told me, if you see the seams like a 2-seam, it looks like that's a changeup coming in. And he threw it up there, and I stayed on it just enough to get a good piece of it. But it was basically just battle, and he was really good against us early in the year, and he's a really good pitcher. So I knew I was gonna have to fight, and God willing, I got one to drop in.
All right, we have time for 2 more questions. Along the right.
Kirk Bowles from the Austin American Statesman. Jim, do you believe in teams of destiny when you win 22 innings, beat Pepperdine the way you do in today?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I believe that teams that have really good starting pitching can win baseball games, and a good closer. So if that's destiny, I'll take it. Just like basketball tournament. There's two national seeds here. So whomever thought, and I know we have some committee members in the room, but they felt like those were the best 8 teams. We had 2 of them show up here, and that's because in the game of baseball, it's the team that plays the best. And if you get hot and you play the best, then you can be the national champion. And we would much rather be the team playing the best than the very best team.
And as we're going to reopen the gate, we'll take the final question in the front row.
So Tuesday night, you're going to have to play a great team, either Virginia or Ole Miss. Your thoughts on that?
Well, they're going to have to play a great team too. We have a phenomenal amount of respect. Obviously, Mike Bianco and I are long friends. He was my pitching coach on the USA team. We spent all summer together last summer. And Brian O'Connor, I've known him forever since I was recruiting at Tulane. He was recruiting at Notre Dame. We were recruiting the same players all over the country. So great respect for both teams. And, we're going to run a little lefty up there that's not bad. And I'm sure they're going to put a pitcher out there, and we'll just go compete and see what happens.
All right, Coach Schlossnagel and our student athletes, thank you for joining us. If you have individual interview requests, please coordinate with TCU SID Brandy Davidson.